Hello everybody, and it is Haley here for week 2 of our adventure. So this week we wanted to do something pretty chill, pretty fun. So we're doing story time week. So from my introduction video, you guys can tell I'm a major fangirl. I am one of those fangirls who will find out where you are and what you're doing at all times. I'm totally kidding. I am not that. I am a fangirl though. Like, my daily outfit consists of merch. Like, that's it. What the heck is there mold in this? Ew. But yeah, so this is basically the story of when I went to Impact Indianapolis with Kendra. And I'm just going to tell you what happened, what went down, the interesting things that happened, and basically my fangirl attacks. I'm getting texts from Kenzie, whom you will saw on a Saturday. Yeah, anyways, so I'm just going to tell you the story, and let's get started. Okay, so basically, Kendra and I live in New York, which is about 15 hours from Indianapolis, which is where we went to Impact. And I know that's like a really long drive, and you guys are like, what is wrong with you? Who would travel 15 hours to go meet people in Indianapolis? But we did. Don't question it. I accept it. I loved it, and it was life. So we left on the 26th of February at about 4 p.m. and got to our hotel in Indy at about 7 a.m. We slept in the car, so we just like got ready, and then around like 11:30ish we left for the event, and we got there around 12. So like at the beginning, we were like 8th in line. So like this isn't gonna be in like particular order. Like I'm gonna like tell you the order. My hair is gross right now because I just took a shower. So I'm just gonna put that back in my head. So I'm just like gonna tell you like what happened in each time because I don't remember exactly what happened and when. Okay, so anyways, the first thing I remember was we were in line, we were 8th in line, and these girls that were down at the corner started like freaking out because the guys were in the window. So me and Kendra were like, let's go. And so then we're waving to them. You can't really tell who's waving at who when like there's so many girls waving. But then this manager guy came out and he started talking, and the guys were just standing there. Everyone else was paying attention to him, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna wave. I'm gonna wave right now. And I waved, and Jack Avery waved at me. Jack Avery waved at me. So yeah, that was cool. And then we went back up to our spot, and our window, there was like, it led into like this basketball court thing. And so the guys were like coming over. And another thing I remember was Weston. He noticed me like 3 times. The first time he walked over, and I like waved at him, and he looked at me and he went like this. The second time, I showed him like a dolphin stuffed animal that I had. And, yeah, he was, like, talking to me about that. Talking, Mark is live. So, yeah. Then the third time, he just walked over and he waved at me, which was really cool. That was nice. Another thing I remember was, Mr. Jackson frickin' Anderson. He was throwing out Frisbees to the girls that were waiting in line, and one of them hit me in the face. I didn't deserve that. It just came out and it hit me like right here, and I was like, excuse me. We also got to watch Blake make a Musical.ly, which was really cool. He had these like really cute glasses on. It was adorable. And the last thing I really remember from the beginning part was when Blake waved at me and Kendra twice. We were like internally crying. We were literally almost in tears. So that was just at the beginning. So now we're going to get on to the meet and greet line. So the first person so we got VIP Gold. So like we got to go in first and go to the pizza party thing. First thing I remember was hugging Simon. He was my first hug. I remember that for sure. But that's like the only order I remember. So I'm just going to like, I have like my list of things that I remember. So one thing I remember is I went up to Jackson and I was like, you hit me in the face with one of your Frisbees. And he looks at me and goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's hug it out. And I was just like, come here, let's hug it out. I'm down. So we hugged, and when he hugs, he like puts his head on your shoulder, and you put your head on his shoulder. So it's very, very nice and like quality. I might like start crying. I miss them. So the next thing I remember is Weston. he was like, I was talking to him and he was like, hey, can we take a picture with the dolphin? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I like was like getting out my camera and I go to put it up and these girls like walk over and like push him and he reaches out, grabs my hand and pulls me with him and then we take a picture. I might show all the pictures at the end, so just, yeah. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about was, I don't remember who was holding Weston, but they were like holding him and they almost dropped him and I was standing behind him and I'm like, oh God. And I just like slowly like pushed his back up. I saved his life because if he was on the ground, we would all have trampled him. So, you're welcome, Weston. Another thing I remember is, so earlier that day when we were in the hotel, I posted a picture talking about how we'd made it to Indiana and how I was really excited. And I tagged all the guys in it. And Reed had liked it and commented on it. It's going to be so much fun. And I was like, yes, it will, especially now. And so when I first saw him, he was like, oh my God. I told him about the Instagram picture and he was like, yeah, I remember. Blah, 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 blah. You have beautiful eyes. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. My eyes are red right now. I'm pretty sure I was like crying. I don't even know. But yeah, so that happened. I also remember, so I didn't get to take a picture with Zach, which is really sad because Zach is my fave. But I walked up on this like platform thing and I was like going to like try to find Kendra, but I saw a bunch of guys in there and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. So I walked over to Zach and I was just like, give me a hug right now. Like, I didn't say that, but I was just internally thinking it. Yeah, that happened. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Another thing I remember is me and Kendra were talking to Corbin, or well, we walked over to start talking to Corbin. He was talking to these girls, and they were like talking about how they had traveled 10 hours. And me and Kendra looked at each other and we're like, oh my God. Because Corbin was like freaking out. He's like, 10 hours? That's crazy. I would have died. Me and Kendra were just looking at each other internally laughing. Like, we traveled 15. So after he talked to them, he like talked to us and we went for the group hug. Then he was like talking to us and he asked us some questions and he was like, so where are you guys from? We go, New York. And he goes, no, you're not. Like, no. And we were like, yeah, we came 15 hours. And he like, there was like a table behind us and he goes, he like almost passed out. He was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Also, right before the guys came out, I was standing there and Simon, he had like, there were like glass doors and then there were like more room and then it was a room and there were more rooms and they were staying in a room in there and Simon walks out and I waved and he waves back at me and I go, oh my God, Simon just waved at me. And his sister Emily walks by and he goes, he just fell, and she goes, he just fell on my head. And I was just laughing. Another thing, I was standing with Kendra, and Blake was right in front of us, and somebody had brought Coco Chanel, like a Coco Chanel. It wasn't the real Coco Chanel. But he had it, like, wrapped around his shoulders, and he was, like, spinning in circles, and he was just, like, hitting me in the face with it repeatedly. And I was just like, okay, I'm cool with this. Like, I'm down. So the last thing I'm gonna, like, talk about from the pizza party part was after I went and hugged Zach, I went to go down the stairs, and I stopped at the bottom of the stairs because there were a bunch of people, and I turned around and Jack was standing there, so I, like, went for the hug, and I, like, told him about, like, how we had traveled from New York, and he was like, oh my God, what would make you do that? And I was like, well, it's for my birthday, and he cuts me off, and he goes, it's your birthday? Oh my God, Weston, get over here. And they sang happy birthday to me, and Weston called me Jesus. So yeah, now to the meet and greet line. So the first person there was Chloe. She was cool. I didn't really know her before now, but she's chill. Then was Tyler. Nothing really eventful happened. We just hugged and took our picture. But Jared. So Jared was next, and I walked over and I hugged him. And when he hugged me, he whispered in my ear, you're so adorable. I love you so much. Kill me. But yeah, that happened. Next was Corbin, and he looked over my shoe, so he almost falls, and he like wraps his arms around me, so we both almost fall, and I'm like, hold up, what you doing? He almost killed me. He literally almost killed me. Next was Jack, and I like paused for a minute before I went to him, and he like looks at me, and he pulls out his arms, and he sings to me, baby, won't you? He was like, baby, won't you come? And I was like, yes, I will. I'm coming right now. I am coming for you. This is more examples of why I'm a fangirl. So yeah, next it was Reed, and I walked over and I hugged him, and he's like, it's great to see your beautiful face again. And I was like, kill me. So yeah, next was Weston. nothing really eventful happened. Just I was taller than him and we looked like siblings, basically. Next was Blake, and when I first walked up to him, I was wearing a pizza shirt. Not this one. It was a pizza shirt. It's like in my closet. But he's like, I like your shirt. I like pizza. I like your shirt. And I was like, thanks. And when I hugged him, there was like a curtain behind them, and I accidentally like grabbed the curtain. And he goes, what are you doing? And I thought he was talking to me, but he was talking to Weston, and I got so scared. I was like, wasn't me? So, yeah. So now onto the show. So, first thing we did when we got in there, we went to the merch stand, and we were, like, walking down, and Simon's mom, she stopped us, and she goes, hey, you're the girls that traveled from New York, right? And we're like, we didn't know who she was at first, and we're like, yeah. She's like, oh my god, that's so amazing, thanks for supporting the guys, I'm Simon's mom, by the way. And I'm like, Simon's mom? She's Simon's mom. And I low-key was fangirling. But then we, like, took a picture together, and it was really cool. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about from the show, because I don't want to go into too much detail on it, this is so embarrassing. Weston and Zach tried to crowd surf, and so they were crowd surfing, and I accidentally grabbed Jackson's butt. No, I'm actually going to say one more thing from the show. That was the first time they were crowd surfing. I accidentally, like, squeezed his butt, and I was like, hope we didn't notice that. And he gets back on the stage, and he goes, who was grabbing my butt? And I was like, it wasn't me. And then the last thing I'm going to say from the show, the second time they went crowd surfing, Jackson went on our side, and Jackson fell on my head. He literally just fell on my head. And I'm like, okay. What do you have against me? We have a little inside joke now. In one of his broadcasts, I told him, and he was just, like, judging me. Not literally. He was just like, ha. Ha, 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 ha. And I was like, okay. And then the last thing I'm just going to talk about, so after the show, we went back, and Weston started broadcasting, and they were at Steak and Shake, and our hotel was, like, 3 minutes away from Steak and Shake, so we, like, tried to go there, but we missed them by 3 minutes, so it was really sad, but, yeah. So that's what happened at Impact. If there's time, I'll post the videos. If not, I'm sorry, or I'll put the pictures in. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's my Impact story. I really hope you guys enjoyed this story time video. Don't forget to watch all the other girls' videos and give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've met any of your favorite people and tell me who they are. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to watch Aaron's video tomorrow. And yeah.